Alright, folks, I'm coming back again, and this is in regards to a topic that I put on over Discord, and the topic is homosexuality along with asexuality, sexual orientation disorders. So, is homosexuality along with asexuality, quote unquote, sexual orientation disorders? Are they disorders? And I put this topic out, challenge out on Discord. And what I'm noticing, a lot of individuals from Discord, and you might have probably gotten a perception of individuals from Discord. It seems like the majority of individuals are not confident in defending their stance on things. And it seems like a lot of them I can't really take seriously. Now, this topic is homosexuality a disorder? And I have some responses from some individuals. This individual by the name of Psychra, this person asks, "What do you mean by disorder?" Okay, then the person asks another question. Person asks also, "Why is the sexual orientation in quotes?" Then we have another person by the name of Jackal Lack. This person asks, "Are you rage baiting or actually serious?" Now, my response was to Psychra, disorder means mismatch, incongruent, or inconsistent. And I added that anything in quotes is quoting what others refer to something as, that which is not used in my vocabulary. So it's something that people say, or terms that they use, or is nominally used, but I don't particularly use it, and I don't even believe that is the correct terms to use. So I'm just quoting what other people use, what other people may refer to something as. And then my response to the other person, Jackolack, I said, "I'm always serious when it comes to these topics. See, I'm not on Discord for fun and games. You know, this is this is not up for amusement, not up for laughs. And some of these people are making judgments without even knowing a person, what the person is all about. So I say I'm always serious when it comes to topics on the Discord. And I say I'm not on here for fun and games like other forms of social media. So I mean, it's a straightforward topic, but these people are just not confident in defending in what they believe. We go on and I get a response back from Psychra. This person says the term sexual attraction is not exclusive to heterosexuality. It is only a mismatch or incongruent if you make the error of presupposing that it is in fact only hetero attraction, which again is not the case. Now, look, this person is trying to argue in the comment section. Now, I put this debate topic out there as a challenge. Now, if come, let's discuss this. This, I mean, this person has all this to say in the comments section. Bring it forth in the debate. That's what I put it out there for. This Discord server has rules. They say that they don't want people debating in the comment section. Now you can ask questions or get clarification, but this person is making, I explain I put in some detail about what I mean, and instead of saying, okay, I see what you mean, I'll take on your challenge, okay, I will not take on, this person just wants to come back and just make full comment. That's not what that's for. Because now we're getting into debate territory, which I didn't do. I didn't come back and do all that. The other person, Jackalak, this person asks a question: is every incongruence inherently negative or pathological? Now, this is another thing that could be saved for the debate or discussion. I'm pretty sure moderators, which they do moderate the comments section, they come on and they will say you can't debate in the comment section. If you have just a bunch or a stack of questions, that's for discussion. So it's one thing to ask for clarity on what I mean, but now you're trying to now you're trying to circumvent and trying to question my position and trying to get me to. These people are really trying to get me to detail my whole position in the comment section because if you're not that good of defending your case, you, you're not gonna do well against arguments that you're not prepared for. So what they're trying to do is trying to get me to spill my points in the comment section. Okay, and I go on here. I respond to Sakura, and I say point blank. I say you either agree or disagree with my stance. If you agree, we can tag team against this other person. To the other person, Jackalak, that asked the question, is every incongruence inherently negative or pathological? I don't know what the person's talking about. I just say I don't know. Let's get into a discussion here. We're not gonna have it in the comment section. This is just a challenge I put out. You either accept it or you yield. You either disagree or you don't. We're not gonna get into discussing this in the comment section. That's not what it's for. And then the person Sakura comes back saying, I don't want to debate on such on a such weak basis. Are we gonna have to look up the definition of words you use mid debate? I mean, what do you think a debate is for? See, they're trying to have a debate here in the comment section. You can't do that. And then Jackolak says, exactly. That's my point as well. Why argue with people who have weak evidence for their their perspective? Well, how do you know my evidence is weak? I mean, why are you trying to? Why is even the subject of weak evidence even brought up here in the comments section when the comments section is not about gauging for the strength of evidence or not? This evidence is something that's disclosed during the discussion, during the debate. Evidence is talked about during the discussion. If you bringing up this person bringing up the point about weak evidence, that's not something you should be talking about in the comment section for a challenge. This person is talking about weak evidence. That's pretty much exposing or proving the point that these people are trying to debate me on the topic in the comment section when that's not what that's for. So that's pretty much what they're trying to do, and they concluded, well, he's got weak evidence. Why even? First of all, it's not. You're not supposed to be interacting here to the point to where you can conclude that there's weak evidence, because any kind of evidence that you think somebody has, you wouldn't know if they have it or not, because they're not disclosing it here in the comment section where it's not supposed to be. supposed to be in a discussion, in a debate, which this is not. So they're proving that's proven that they're trying to have a debate here, which that's illegal. And I haven't even given them anything to judge as strong evidence or not because I'm not supposed to do that. So, in other words, these people, they're trying to they're trying they're trying to get a sneak peek at the like the prosecutor's or the defender's case or evidence without actually going to trial, or they're trying to look at your hand or trying to see what you have in your hand instead of just playing the game straight at the table. Why argue with people who have weak evidence for their perspective? How do you know what my evidence is? This is not the platform to even know that. See, these people are just they're too scared to actually defend what they believe, so they're trying to gauge and they're trying to get a peek at what I have instead of just because they don't have the arsenal to defend or back up what they want to say, what they think they can defend. So because they don't have that, they're trying to get they're trying to get a cheat sheet. They're trying to look at they're trying to look at your paper that you have all the answers on. They're trying to look at the cards in your hand. That's why I say to them, I say, you guys must agree that these sexualities are disorders. Either that or you think it's some sort of trap, you know. Like these people must think that they question me like this because they think, well, I don't want to get, I don't want to fall into some type of trick, or I'm trying to trick them into a loss in a discussion or on a topic, or trick them into refutation. But if you know your stuff, it's not gonna well fare against you. It's not gonna fare against you. I told these people, I said, we're not here to give everything away in the boards. You're just going to have to step into the den at your own risk. Now, if you yield, just step aside, and somebody with more confidence can step up. And then I get responses from Sakura. Said, you know, you sound like someone who think he already knows the truth, so debating with a wall will do me more. These people are already making judgments. Like these people, like these, we haven't sat down at the table to discuss this. See, this is how you prove that people are kind of cowardice. Like they claim they believe in something to be true, and they claim that they have the truth or evidence or proof, but they don't take they don't have the strength to prove it, demonstrate it. They don't believe in it. They don't have the faith in it. Jackolak says, I don't engage with those who argue just for the sake of it. Explain your position clearly first. No, 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 no. What this person means by explain your position clearly, give it all away on this comment section. So I told these people, you know what, this you guys are not confident. Step aside. You guys can't defend what you believe. Just leave it alone. And I say I'm not explaining everything before discussing. You either agree or disagree with me. That's it. No more discussion. I gave you the topic, the definition of inconsistent or disorder, that's it. But they needed more information because they don't know how to. They don't really know how to argue their point. Then this person says you dodge definitions, refuse evidence. Again, I'm not gonna give you no evidence in the comment section. It's not it's not a platform for debating. You can. The person says that my terms are vague. I'm only gonna give you with so much information. Then they say, well, that's not strength, that's cowardice, pretending to be bold. All these people are just a bunch of talk. You know, you're not here to prove anything, so all they're doing is just a bunch of talk. Just a bunch of hot air, empty words. That's all that is. Then the person says, you have no right to put the burden of proof on us when you can't support your flaws. I'm not here to support my perspective or whatever you want to call it in this comment section. See, that just proves right there they wanted me to actually debate them in the comment section. So this way they'll know how to argue or be prepared to uh, because if you don't know what a person's going to exactly they're going to say, because I mean, you know what to say when it's rehearsed, but but you trying to think on your feet when I get you on the spot, you don't know what to say. You're gonna hear a lot of silence, which in a few debates I've had with people uh, that you may have heard in the videos posted, you hear a lot of silence from the other side. Then the person says, you're all about control over seeking understanding and clarity. Person's making a lot of judgment, and that's what I said, you're really judgmental, and person comes back and says, you say don't judge, yet you label people's identities as disorders with zero evidence. So you say I have zero evidence because I haven't presented it right. Of course, I'm not going to present it in the comment section. Like, these people are cowards and fools because they don't get it. It's just hiding behind a lack of understanding. That's why I told these people to step aside. And then we have the moderator coming on he made his comment. Moderator said, if you're not planning to have a live debate on this, then don't comment further. These threads aren't for text debates, which I told them, but they were clearly trying to debate me. Then the moderator said, if you disagree with my definitions and don't want to debate, that's fine. Well, yeah, they should have just left it alone, but they wanted to keep making their comments because they just wanted to debate in the comments section because they didn't want to get trapped in the live discussion. They didn't want to get refuted in a live discussion because they hide behind texting. But this person's talking about you have zero evidence, and I said, dude, that's what the discussion is for. This is an opportunity for you to change my mind and set me correct. But you don't give me a chance to do that. Then the person says, because I call the person hypocritical, and the person says, Jackalak says, it's not hypocrisy to refuse a rigged debate. So it's a rigged debate because you don't know the cards in my hand. You're not supposed to know the cards in my hand. You're supposed to be skilled enough at your own game to whoop me anyway. Then the person says, you judge others first, then cry foul when challenged. Like I said, that's what the discussion is for. You say I'm judging, well, correct me on my judgment. because apparently your judgment is it's not a disorder. So you're making a judgment there. So, and the person Jackalette comes along and say homosexuality isn't a disorder. It's simply a sexual preference for men. So this is what you believe, but you can't defend it. So you clearly disagree with what I'm saying. So you must have a basis for what you believe, so defend it. But you can't defend it. All you can do is just stay on the sidelines and hide behind your texting and trying to debate me in the comment section when it's not what it's for. So a lot of these people, like I said, are just cowardice, a bunch of talk on Discord. Not everybody. This one individual by the handle name of W has scheduled a debate with me with this topic: is homosexuality along with asexuality a disorder? And that debate is supposed to take place this coming Saturday, May the 10th. So we see you all there.